5 questionable things has found on Mars. What if we told you that even before humans set foot on the red planet, we already marked our presence there with human trash? Apart from that, there were several other questionable things that we found on Mars, things that resemble what we already have on Earth or the evidence for life on Mars. So in this video, we take a look at 5 questionable things that NASA has found on Mars. Let's dive in. 5. Doorway on Mars. For more than 10 years, NASA's Curiosity rover has been searching for evidence of life on the surface of Mars while also studying the history and geology of the red planet. But very recently the Curiosity rover shared a photo which appeared to show a door carved right into a rock. Looks familiar? Well, it looks like an underground bunker or an air raid shelter that we have on Earth. But why is it on Mars? Well, the picture is already convincing, but when you take a second look at the image, the passage seems to go only a short way before the steeply descending roof meets the floor, and it's only about 45 centimeters tall. But does this mean that Martians were small in the first place? Well, that's a topic for another video. NASA already pointed out several straight-line fractures that can be seen in the site, and the doorway is just where they happen to intersect. Maybe it's our innate desire to find life elsewhere that needs to be blamed for us to even feel like there is a doorway there. But this image from Mars is also quite tricky. It can make you believe things that don't exist in the first place. The doorway might completely look like something else if the shadows happen to be falling at a different angle. 4. Mysterious light. Back in 2014, NASA's Curiosity rover shot 2 different images, both of which showed a mysterious bright light, and you guessed it right. The UFO enthusiast got excited as they thought this could finally be the evidence that was required to prove that alien life exists. But NASA claimed that this is not a signal from aliens, and the bright spot is either a well-placed flash of reflected sunlight or light shining through the Curiosity's camera housing. 3. Robot leg or rock. UFO hunters spotted a robot leg on Mars. This particular image shot by NASA's Curiosity rover earlier in 2019 shows what looks like a robot leg or something that looks like a boot. If you look closely, it does look like the lower part of a robot limb. Another theory suggests that this could be a piece of a broken statue. But NASA disproved both these theories, as this is just another rock formation that appeared to look like something that we already know. And that makes a lot of sense considering the fact that this particular robot limb-looking rock had multiple layers, and it's highly likely that this could be 2 small rocks snuggled up next to each other with a crack dividing them. 2. Thigh bone on Mars. What if you find a femur on the red planet? Well, that's exactly what happened when an image taken by the Curiosity rover's mastcam on 14 August 2014 went viral, and conspiracy theorists rushed to conclusions that Mars once harbored life. This particular photo set the internet abuzz, with so many people claiming to be a real thigh bone on the red planet. But NASA officials wrote that while this Mars rock may look like a femur thigh bone, it is not the fossilized remains of a mysterious Martian. Mission science team members think its shape is likely sculpted by erosion, either wind or water. This means that we still don't have any evidence for large creatures to have even existed on the red planet, or is it? 1. Face on Mars. NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft was circling the red planet and gave us photos of possible landing sites for its sister ship Viking 2. But the images surprised all of us when the spacecraft spotted a shadowy likeness of a human face on the red planet. This enormous head, nearly 2 miles from end to end, seemed to be staring back at the cameras from a region of the red planet called Cydonia. The face on Mars has become a pop icon, and ever since then it has starred in a Hollywood film, appeared in several magazines, radio talk shows and books. Some people even think that this face is the bona fide evidence of life on Mars. There were several scientists who believed that the face could be an alien artifact, because of which photographing Cydonia became a priority for NASA when the Mars Global Surveyor arrived at the red planet in September 1997, almost 18 years after the Viking missions ended. On April 5, 1998, Mars Global Surveyor flew over Cydonia for the very first time, and the team snapped a picture 10 times sharper than the original Viking photos, and this time, it looked nothing like a face. We tend to see things that do not exist in the first place. This is because when we are presented with something that's unclear or something that's unfamiliar, we try to turn it into a familiar-looking object, and this tendency of ours is referred to as pareidolia. We evolved to have this tendency because spotting important things like predators or faces always gives us an advantage when it comes to survival. These images from Mars are quite interesting, and we could expect more when our understanding Mars is evolving quickly with every new mission launched as more data is sent back to Earth. Yes, we will have to deal with more mysteries like this, but this will also pave way for further discoveries. Only then SpaceX's goal to colonize Mars will become a reality and humans will become a multiplanetary species.